Namaste. As we were discussed in stone masonry chapter. So last class we were discussed up to what is this different types of stone masonry and technical terms used in stone masonry we have discussed. So we have already discussed up to random rubble masonry, different types of RR masonry also we have seen. So now we see what are the classification of ashlar masonry, and then we'll see general principles to be involved in stone masonry. Also, I'll try to see what is the brick masonry and different technical terms used in brick masonry. We'll see today. So today is our target is that right. Let us go to presentation. Yeah, this is today's objectives. So we'll try to as we are completed in last class. We have discussed that there are two types of stone masonry. One is random rubble masonry, another is one is rubble masonry, another is slab masonry. And rubble masonry very detailed we have seen in last class. So we also seen different types of rubble masonry also. Now we see the aslar masonry and types of aslar masonry. Aslar block in course masonry, aslar facing, and principles in stone masonry, and understanding the meaning of brick masonry and related technical terms we'll see here. So aslar masonry, what is aslar masonry? So the square or rectangular blocks of stones used here. So means neatly dressed stones we are used here. So courses are not necessary of same height. There may be different heights are varying in heights, but the dress it should be uh, dressed very neatly. Like no rough stones are used here. So properly dressed stones only we are using in aslar masonry, and the height of stones varies from 25 centimeter to 35 centimeters. Uh, Length of a stone should not exceed three times the height. So the depth of a stone into the wall should be equal to half the height. And types of ashlar masonry. The following are the types of ashlar masonry: ashlar fine masonry, ashlar rough tooled masonry, ashlar quarry faced masonry, ashlar chamfered masonry, ashlar block in coarse masonry, and ashlar facing. Uh, yeah, so let us see a article which is explained about the types of ashlar masonry. This is ashlar masonry. So ashlar fine masonry means beds, sides, and faces are finely chiseled, dressed. Stones are properly dressed. Let us see an article which is published on ashlar masonry. Such a big, yeah, ashlar masonry and its types. Ashlar masonry is a type of stone masonry which is uh, formed using finely dressed stones of same size and shape and texture laid together in a cement mortar, lime mortar of equal size joints at right angles to each other. The masonry builds using ashlar stones in rectangular where cuboid blocks are laid. The joints between the stones are very thin, regular, and uniform. The masonry built using The masonry built using ashlar stones is rectangular where cuboid blocks are laid. So these are the ashlar masonry history and types of ashlar masonry means. ashlar rough tooled masonry is in this type of ashlar masonry, the beds and sides are finely chiseled dressed, but the exposed face is dressed by rough tooling. Uh, this dressing gives the masonry a rough exposed finish to the masonry. See here, the exposed surface is not at all dressed properly. And ashlar fine-tooled masonry means this is a type of finest type of ashlar masonry. The bed joints and faces of the stones are chiseled to remove all unevenness and obtain perfectly horizontal and vertical joints. The major joints are so thin that they have barely exposed, which gives this type of masonry a very close and packed finish. Ashlar facing. This type of ashlar masonry is used to give the building an exposed and good aesthetics. The exposed faces of stones are rough tooled and chamfered, right? And coarse ashlar masonry. This type of ashlar masonry has uniform sized stones with alternating uh, vertical joints, which strengthens the wall. The stones are laid in such a way that the joints formed by the lower layers are covered. Hey, 1 minute, 1 minute. Chamfered ashlar masonry. It is a special type of ashlar masonry, rock face in which the strips provided around the perimeter of the exposed face is chamfered at an angle of very good 45 degrees to a depth of 25 mm. This is a chamfer. Means the exposed part of the stone edges are cut with an angle like this is chamfer. And a random ashlar masonry. The stone block does not have any specific rule of placement. It is a general course of alignment. However, the vertical joints need not to be one over the other. Right. And see, these are some monuments constructed by Ashlar masonry, Machu Picchu in Peru, and pyramids in Cairo. Uh, this is also a royal tombs some area. Right. This is Ashlar about Ashlar masonry. Uh, yeah. Ashlar fine masonry means beds, sides, and faces are finely chiseled, dressed. Stones are properly bonded. The thickness of mortar joint may be 3 mm. The stone masonry gives perfectly smooth appearance, but costly. This is Ashlar fine masonry is very very costly. See, this is Ashlar fine masonry means both edges, sides, joints, and exposed faces are finely chiseled, dressed. Right. The rough tooled masonry means the beds and the sides are finely chiseled. Face is made rough by means of tools. 25 mm width wide strip is provided around the perimeter by chisel of every exposed stone for view. The thickness of mortar joint may be 6 mm. Right, it is known as bastard slab masonry. Ashlar rock or parry-faced masonry 25 mm wide strip is provided around the perimeter by chisel of every exposed stone for view. The remaining left as obtained from quarry and bushings exceeds 80 mm removed by hammer gives massive appearance. Ashlar chamfered face means 25 mm wide strip is provided around the perimeter and the strips is chamfered or beveled at an angle of 45 degrees by chisel to a depth of 25 mm. Another strip 12 mm wide provided on remaining exposed portion. That remaining portion kept as received from quarry large cushions removed by hammers and Aslar block in coarse masonry. An intermediate type between rubble and Aslar masonry faces hammer desk. Mortar joint is 6 mm and depth of course 20 centimeter to 30 centimeter. used for heavy works like retaining walls, etc. Ashlar facing means the facing in Ashlar masonry, the backing may be in brick masonry, rubble masonry or concrete masonry. The facing stones are rough tooled or chamfered. The bonding stone extends for full width of wall, uh, and these are some types of ashlar stone masonries. Let's see one video. The stone masonry in which finely dressed stones are laid in cement or lime mortar is known as ashlar masonry. In this masonry, all the joints are regular, thin, and of uniform thickness. This type of masonry is costly in construction, right? So, as fire masonry, in this type of masonry, stone blocks are of same height are used in each course. Every stone is finely tooled. The thickness of mortar or joint should not be more than 5 mm. Right. This is about different types of stone masonry, and some permissible loads of stone masonry are coarse rubble masonry and cement mortar may carry 880 kilonewton per meter square. Random rubble masonry in cement mortar may carry 880 kilonewton per meter square. Aslar in cement mortar may be 2200 kilonewton per meter square. These are permissible safe stresses of Aslar masonry and permissible the principles involved in general principles involved in stone masonry are the stones shall be hard, durable and tough. The stones used should be as per the specifications. All the stones should be laid in their natural bed. They should be well watered. The stones should be dressed as per the specifications, right? And the construction of stone masonry should be carried out in proper bond with the number of throw stones, means big blocks which are provided to avoid the overlapping of joints. The bond stones, throw stones and headers should not be of a dumbbell shape. The flat stones should be laid under the ends of girders and roof trusses. These are called also corbels. The mortar in stone masonry should be of good quality and as per the specifications. The formation of a continuous vertical joint should be avoided. So if it is there, the uh, load carrying strength of the wall may be reduced. Right. The stone masonry should be raised uniformly so to get a good joint within between the courses. Otherwise, stepping or toothing should be provided as shown below. Is if day one work has completed and day two work has to be uh, start from the where we end the day one. So we have to be uh, left like this stepped bricks. See, this is nothing but a what you call it toothing of a brickwork, right? The general principles: double scaffolding should be opted for work at higher levels, whereas brick masonry may require only single scaffolding. Double scaffolding means two Portlocks are provided adjacent to the wall. Vertical of the wall should be checked by using plumber. Stone masonry should not be designed to take tensile stresses. And the use of small stone chips and broken stones should be avoided as much as possible. Right. So it should be cured for 2 to 3 weeks after completing the masonry. The hutting of masonry should be properly packed with the chips and mortar to avoid hollow and thick joints. Hearting means the space between the facing and backing of the stone masonry in between stone. And the queens should be used to form the jombs and doors. Door window should be full height of the course. Masonry, when started over dry or old masonry, the surface should be cleaned by racking old mortar and wetted. Right. Next is big masonry. So the construction carried out using the bricks and mortar is called brick masonry, and mud mortar, lime mortar, or cement mortar may be used in brick masonry. Its choice depends on the importance of wall required. The size of nominal size of brick wall is 9 10 centimeter by 9 centimeter by 9 centimeter. Modular bricks and modern bricks and traditional bricks also available with the various other sizes depending on local requirements of our usage. Right. Water తాగు. Money. ఎత్తుకొసుకుందాం. మొత్తం తాగేసి. మొత్తం తాగేసి that's a small video on breakfast. లవంగా నోట్లో వేసుకొచ్చుకో.
డాడీ నాకు మౌజు కావాలి. డాడీ నాకు మౌజు కావాలి. మౌజు కావాలి.
That is what explained about brick masonry. Next, advantages of brick masonry. Bricks are of uniform size and can be used in proper bond. Like stones, they do not have any dressing and they are not in uniform sizes also. Due to lightweight, they can be easily handled. They do not require lifting devices. They can be manufactured at any site. So transportation is also very easy. So this is a stretcher and this is a header. The corners are called as arises. Stretcher and header course. Technical terms. Technical terms we can see. Advantages of brick masonry. Bricks are uniform size. They can be used. Yeah. The longer face of the brick is also known as a stretcher. A course of bricks in which all the bricks are laid with stretchers and facing is known as a stretcher course. So, header course means header or header course. The face of the brick showing breadth and height is known as header and course containing headers on the exposed face of the wall. It is known as header course. Arrays means the edges formed by the intersection of plane surfaces of brick are called the arrays bed. The lower surface of the brick in each course and laid flat is known as bed. Bed jet, the horizontal layer of the mortar upon which bricks are laid is known as bed joint. So perpends means vertical joint separating the bricks in either length or cross section direction is known as perpends. So for good bond, the perpends in alternative forces should be vertical one above the other. Lap, the horizontal distance between the joints in successive courses is known as lap. So and for the good bond, which should not be less than one fourth of the length of the brick. Closer, it is a piece of brick used to close up the bond at the end of the course. It helps in preventing the joints of successive courses to come in a vertical line. It is not molded, but it is obtained by cutting the full brick. Queen closer. The stone obtained by cutting the brick longitudinally uh, in two equal parts. So the queen closer is generally placed next to the pane header to obtain the necessary cap. King closure means it is obtained by cutting the triangular portion of the brick such that half of header and head and half a structure is obtained on the adjoining cut surface. Right, it is also used near the door and window openings to get proper mortar joints. See, this is the half longitudinal section, half of breadth is cut. See this. This is the king closer. This is a queen tray and bat. The half brick is known as bat. This is a piece of brick usually considered in relation to the length of brick and accordingly known as half bat or three-quarter bat. Right, this is a half bat. Course, a complete layer of bricks laid on the same bed is known as a course, and its thickness is equal to the thickness of brick plus thickness of mortar. Frog, a frog is an indentation, means mark, made on the face of the brick of depth about 10 mm to 20 mm. It is to form. It is to form. It is to form a key for holding the motor. Beside the name of the manufacturer of bricks is written on the frog area. Brick components: half bat, three-quarter bat, quarter bat, king closer, queen closer, split also given. Bonding. The systematic arrangement of bricks with mortar to tie them together in a mass lock of brickwork is known as bonding. కొంచెం తక్కువ పెట్టాలా? Good bonding should have a minimum vertical joint and they should not continuous in two consequent courses. Bonding is like this. If it is joints are not skewed, then there will be flash of splitting of one face. Bonding. The bonding distribute the upper imposed load upon any individual brick in wall to an increasing number of bricks forming the wall uh, below and there by reducing the tendency to settlement. So bonding, a wall having the continuous vertical joints will act as an independent column and not as one compact unit. Therefore, the superimposed load is not well distributed throughout the wall and local settlements. Rules for bonding. The lab should be one-fourth of the brick along the length of the wall. The lab should be the lab should be one half of the brick across the thickness. The brick should be uniform set to the uniform lab, and the structure should be used in the facing. The hearting should be carried out with the headers only. Use of big bats should be avoided. Vertical joints should be lie vertically above each other in the alternative process. ఇక్కడ వీడియో పెడుతున్నాను. లెట్ us see a small video. నాగా సౌండ్ తక్కువ పెట్టు. ఇంకా కొంచెం తక్కువ పెట్టు. వెరీ గుడ్.
The YouTuber చేస్తున్నా నాకు తెలుసు.
ఫోన్ వేసుకో కఫ్ అండ్ కోల్డ్. ఎందుకు దగ్గర పెట్టాలి? పెద్ద దాంట్లో ఉండేది.
నీ ఫోన్ ఇస్తావా? నీ ఫోన్ ఇయ్యి.
ఫ్రిడ్జ్ నేను తీసుకుంటా. చూసుకోలే ఏం కావాలి నీకు ఇక్కడ? ఏమైంది? లవంగా వేసుకోమంటే వేసుకున్నావా?
Ayo kayak Bia. 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 Ah. Dari niku ఒక చూపియాలా ఇంకొక చూపియాలా ఒక నిక్ చూపియాలా కానీ ఇంకొక చూపియాలా ఇది పట్టుకుంటుంది ఇది పట్టుకుంటుంది
Yeah, this is about different terminologies used in picture, and there are different types of brick bonds. So, like edge bond, so stretcher bond, header bond, Flemish bond, English bond, garden wall bond, racking bond, Dutch bond, brick on edge bond, and English bond, racing bond are there. So we'll see the types of bonds in next class. So what we have studied is ashlar masonry, ashlar facing, the principles of stone masonry and brick masonry, terminology used in brick masonry we have seen here. So these are the some questions which can be taken from this unit. Explain the following ashlar masonry and ashlar facing. Explain the principles involved in stone masonry. Define term bond and list the rules for good bonding and list the types of brick bonds. Right. List the advantages of brick masonry and the following terms related to brick masonry. Define header, stretcher, perpends, lap, frog, closer. Right. These are some expected questions from this area. Right. Tomorrow I will try to meet and complete the remaining part.